But do you have a space for Cheddar in the
incoming government? The NDC has a space for everybody. I mean, he can join us and be a comrade in the struggle.
Still logged on to the Loud Lounge. I have Baba Sadiq in the building, Mandems is still vying for the parliamentary seat for Okaikwi Central, of which me, I know say you go win. If you know win yourself, that means you got no day. Looking at that, looking at the situation we're inside in this country there, it's time for us to change.
But a lot of the young people there wants to change.
But your political ideologies, be like go inside, by your political ideologies, briefly on that one. What do you stand for?
For me?
You, personally. Not that of MPP. Not that of NDC.
NDC. I mean, for me, I'm big on social development and creating sustainable livelihoods for people in the country.
Okay.
I mean, I think that it's the way forward. I mean, it's the way forward. I mean, ensuring that people that are employable, have the employable skills, could be provided. We could create a situation where they could get the jobs, or people that do not even have the employable skills. There will be a system that helps them, I mean, to get training at, even zero cost as much as possible, and get the necessary support to enable them start off, or even people that are involved in trade or entrepreneurship could then a necessary boost or support to ensure that they're able to create like sustainable enterprises, which will help them also employ a lot more people. And obviously, social development, providing the necessary development within the various different communities, constituencies in the country that would improve the lives of the people.
That's good look. Looking at the base or a number of people that you have in your constituency, that could really help. But then this morning, I think I was on radio, and then we were having this conversation on our big story, and it had to do with Kwesi Oten's comment that he made about the 24-hour economy. One of the flagship ideas of the
NDC for the 2024 elections.
For 2024 election. And surprisingly, we asked people if they understood the concept or the idea, of which myself, I was struggling a little bit. Although I'm saying that maybe I don't vote, but even if I vote, chances that I might vote for the first time in my life vote for the NDC be high. But still, I do not understand
the concept and what it is.
Or the 24-hour. Can you help us?
So let me break it down. What we're saying with the 24-hour economy is simple. That currently the country, as it stands now, largely is run. Say a 12-hour is running a 12-hour economy essentially.
6 to 6.
I mean, we run and 6 to 6. We're going to put on my 8 to 5. 8 to 5. I mean, 8 hours essentially. So what we are saying is that the way it is, very limiting. But there's a reason why there are companies or organizations that would want to run 24 hours. But at the cost of operations, running organization, it will become so major, and it's a deterring factor into Muntimi. So what I say, and so what we are saying is that, and so if, for instance, within that same 8 hour now maybe there have 50 people that they are employing, and so if they say they want to go that and that, because the cost of running it for a 24-hour service, 24 hours, is scary, They cannot even start it, not to talk about even employing an extra people to come in. So what we are saying is that if I say you're running a 3-shift system within the country, a 3-shift system means that there will be 3 different 8-hour blocks that are running. It's a way organization who have a friend saying you want to run on that. But ABR, your cost of operations is very high. On the 24-hour economy, there are certain incentives that will give to you. The cost of that running operation are not a deterring factor. It will probably be non-existent. So they will be running 24-hour service and employ a lot more people. So for instance, if you are an organization that's into manufacturing, but I mean your cost of utilities is the same across board.
Because I can't keep
several
plants on.
Say the tax crab account. Value added tax account, which would have made it crazily expensive now. The catcher on the say. If you pick in an extra, if you come on the 24-hour service, 24-hour economy, and then you employ a lot more people as well, creating extra jobs. ABR from Iriano, Eko Inumreno, we have a special tariff system for you. Wow. That cost that you would have paid, you wouldn't have paid that particular expense, which means that scary cost of operation and now we're doing say fence and too heavy, ABR, it won't be like that, which gives you the opportunity to be able to run our 24-hour service system. I'll be to employ a lot more people. So I say, and now the catch a month for baby and say, because as NDC and our Excellency John Romani Mahamano, we've done it before. And it's had that vision and applied it in other ways. For instance, when we expanded the project to expand the Tama ports, the new Terminal 3 ports, not the entire was we want to find a way where we could run it a 24-hour system, because the expansion means that more FSM will come into into the country. You have more ships coming into the country. You have even bigger vessels coming in with bigger FSN, and because of the timeline, you need more hands to be able for that to be able to happen. So if you need that more hands for it to happen, because you're running a 24-hour system, maybe the team that you needed at the Tema port at a particular point in time was 80. But now, because you're running a 24-hour system, you need a lot more people for another shift or two other shifts. You double that 80. So if you had one shift that you had 80, now you're having two more shifts, which means that 80 times 2 people will join the workforce.
That's a good idea.
We felt that was a good way to expanding the economy and ensuring a lot more young people are motivated.
So now some of the questions that popped up. Number one, Charlie, me had to do my job. Initially, I go 8, I will close like 5. Charlie, when boys got travel to one side where we not feel him. Now you're telling me that you're going to break it down. That means I'm going to have less hours to work, right?
Yes, essentially, depending on
would that affect my salary? Because boys are interested in that. And boys are not smiling when it comes to that type of conversation.
Of course, that won't affect the salaries, because when you be here, so I say, so you continue to earn the same amount that you are earning. But because you see, and we are creating a 3-shift system from 8 to say 3 p.m. 8 to 3 p.m. Because productivity, our organization will find a way to ensure say within the 8 to 3 p.m. we can
still working at the same
and then 3 to another time will be so from that time until 8 o'clock and upon also there's a different group that comes. So that's until the air catches and so empty. But also think about it. So when you be 80 why would you know to say when you boys that make first shift no I fear more bomb club no na second shift no near back no say because
good idea.
But so I say, so that's the point that we're saying.
That's a 24-hour economy.
There are a number of businesses in there. They can run the clock.
Saying most of the government institutions are already doing that. Some are saying the hospitals are already doing that. Some are saying the police and all that are already doing that.
Yeah, you'll be essential services economy. Some of the essential services economy they are running, but it's not in totality.
It is, and then you guys won't punch through that.
And then we'll go to police headquarters at this time. In the HR way, does the police headquarters totally? Obi officers be on me so be a juma from 8 to 5 no omuna na ejuma na
omapon kakra
it's just your visibility team that are on the street doing the work that they are doing. So I say omapon, but the entire police force is not working. It's essential services part. If you go to Kolebu Port and then what is the time now?
Around 10
or 10:30. Go to Kolebu now. Key departments are shut down. It's just a frontline worker. Some provide these essential services. But we want a system and then we Kolebu, where you have key officers even working in the background and working in accounts, working in management, working in distance working. But of course it's not realistic. Say the same group of people and our same batch, 24-hour service, which means that you need to employ a lot more people to be able to join the stream, not most to my private services. So yes, the Omokano is true, but it's not entirely true, because it's just an essential, it's small bit of it that is running 24 hours. But how about the others that is needed? And if you want to process bill and adjui, and you need key officers at police headquarters, so you really get them to be able to do that. You get that. It won't work. Ochina wapon. Upa say jupo. And then maybe when you and there's a whole conversation on whether they were processing it for court or not. And you say the report echo jupo no sign of no more direction on what to do. So what I say, ABI they are ready to give him bail, but you change jupo. By the time maybe on by 5 first jupo no wapon. But if there's a second jupo taking over from him. From even now, the advice and the direction that you want to, you can get it. And then also the GD said it can end corruption in a particular way. Okay. Maybe you have a particular officer who is working all through it. BBA because of that, was spotting red light or more directions on that. But that's what we are saying. Right. So yes, people are right, and we think that Cheddar and Jim. Yes, the essential services part of it, or essential, what you call the essential services economy. They are providing 24-hour service. But how about the entire workforce? When you go to Kolebu, I don't think in the evening, the hospitals, for instance, in the enumeration after 5, I doubt say the people providing extra service for throughout the night, do even constitute 20% of the entire workforce of Kolebu.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Exactly. So that's the point that we are saying. Say we want a system, and then those places can run like you see, like the way we call one apa, how you busy. If you were looking to do, and you see the entire organizations, they don't only provide for it to be fully functional as an organization. It's not only the frontline service.
There's so many people working in the background.
Part of it.
Should be employed.
Look, an emergency, somebody's job in the background could affect the delivery of an emergency service.
Yes.
We hear oxygen.
Yeah.
But ABR, the guy who's in charge of procurement or supply, oxygen tank in beer or no more decision be say far, and I said some transfer be say it me no be to me deliver service no 8 man bantino and what point we can't be able to say a train more equity So I say, but if it's running all round robin, it means that a lot of your people that are actually living looking for that oxygen on China or China, my guy na be signing off and say supply na dia ba.
Be a cost this year.
It is what it is. So that's what we are saying.
2024 election year, we've already seen so much. And one hot button issue is people looking for a third force. Third force. Can Ghana have a third force? Now, we've seen Honorable Kojo and Chewatin break away from the MPP. From a Dafafanto group of people. We also have Cheddar. Freedom Jacob Caesar and Nana Kojo Bediako Kwabena. Nana Kwame Bediako. All three together forming the new force. 3-in-1. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit forming the new force. People are asking, can there be a third force? Now there was a poll that was put out by, I think it was GH1, where Cheddar pulled up massive votes over there. People feeling that he also presents a breath of fresh air to the whole election vibe in Ghana. So far, the Gen Zs or the millennials also have a feeling, especially after how poorly the MPP has performed. And my own Men's West, MPP is undoubtedly one of the parties that have disappointed a lot of Ghanaians, including myself. People are looking for new alternatives. And the question of a new force or a third force is, I'm sure you've picked up intel on that. Is there a possibility that there will be another force in our political dispensation that is as big
as the two major parties? Well, historically, if you look at it from the beginning of the Fourth Republic, you see that it's always been a challenge for third forces to emerge because of the way things are done and things are structured. It's quite difficult because from the beginning, the country has been divided politically, has been divided along two different schools of thoughts. And the two different schools of thought. And if I want to break it down to make it practical for everybody, you call it the the UP school of thought, and then the CPP school of thought. So what I say, so that's how I want to break it down for everybody. I mean, to see it, and so you see that the CPP school of thought, is what has morphed and gradually landed with NDC. The UP school of thought is what has morphed, gone into different parties at a certain point, alignment, movement, and then other than the NPP.
before.
So it's that school of thought that has always run. Now it's consolidated in the two different parties, NPP and NDC.
Yeah.
And over time in the Fourth Republic, we've seen how difficult for the forces to be made because it's crazily expensive. You need boots on the ground in each and every constituency, each and every polling station area. So as I say, it takes a longer time to be able to create and organize that structure. It needs to cap it. I mean, it's not, there are people that would identify with the ideology. There are people that would identify with money and how you do some things. There are people that would also even be sucked in by their social orientation around where they grew up, what was visible, and all of that. Usually it's very, very, very expensive to be able to put that together within a 10-month period to go into an election. So and then when you see, I mean, social media is very powerful, of course, in particular among young audiences. But winning an election combines a lot more things, including social media.
Okay.
It goes beyond social media. So a lot of things could happen on social media, which is good because now more than ever, social media or digital media sets the agenda. But it has to be, the agenda that is set from there would have to be carried wide down the road for it to be able to work. And sometimes you may not have the benefit of that force down there, no matter what you do. So you do all the marketing and everything because Charlie, look, 275 constituencies. Some of the constituencies, have polling stations or what we NDC and branches, they have more than 100. Yeah. And each of these 100 branches, maybe they know 136. Okaki Central. Now maybe in each and every polling station
like
and
2 or 3
branches,
people.
3 people. We want 9 executives in each. 9 executives in each. Damn it. Or branch chairman, and a police station chairman, or as secretary, or organizer, or woman, or the communication, or treasurer. Yeah. And you need to have a semblance of that system. So what I say. Now, we are quite elections in you need at least 2 people in each and every police station manning it for you. And that form. And the two parties have invested and built this over time.
Yes.
And I make sure I say, if you want to look at it from in the ways that people practically understand it, it's 2 school of thought that has been, politically, that is what has been.
Yeah, people also have that mindset that even worldwide. That's
from
how
the beginning till now.
Yes,
it's morphed gradually, and I land there within NPP and NDC. So when you look at it, for a lot of people that would understand, if you look at the CPP model thinking. Principles, of how to develop a country, it's set with them. The UP capitalism idea of how to develop a country. So she crown alliance in air blare because each of the party, even though we say maybe capitalist and maybe socialist, there are a few ideas and things you'd see say it will be typically be things that a socialist for because it's become maybe necessary. A capitalist for and a capital idea, but we've adopted it because it is what's necessary to run the country. So it's the same 2 parties, that have emerged over time are consolidated till now. So it's a lot of years of work that is required. And just sometimes you do not have the means, you do not have the people, you do not have the network across the country to be able to effect that. This is why Obi Tisami, like I say, it's very difficult to have certain party. Yeah, it's very difficult. Unless you're able to play those kind of games of consolidating.
But Cheddar seems to be cool with the idea. I mean, the idea that he is the third force. I mean,
I don't know if that is what he intends to do. And
so because he's here to win. I don't know.
I mean, historically, we've seen factions break. We've seen new people actually even emerge. At best, one of the things they can do is to claw back some and play key makers. So third force is there. Adding. What I can say to them is that
wish them all the best.
Maybe I'm joining the
but do you have a space for Cheddar
the incoming government? The NDC has a space for everybody. The NDC as a party.
Lately, I can see
NDC a Congress. As Congress today, we're helping.
I see lately
everybody. I mean, he can join us and be a comrade in the struggle.
Okay.
Join the incoming government of the country, or the waiting government.
Okay.
And the incoming president of the country.
Mama, me mess him. If we lose, the way I will laugh here. Because everything said give you guys. I don't know why. If you lose this, I will laugh you. But the NDC is going all youth these days. Is it like a political strategy?
But NDC has always provided the one party that has always provided opportunities for young people to serve. So I think the one party that has given a lot of young people the opportunity, brilliant young people, to serve in governments and shape the trajectory of the country, development-wise, is the NDC from the get-go. I mean, your MPDs here, when you go back in history, had a lot of young people, and then they become elderly statesmen, they have some immediate and know exactly what things that needs to be done to elevate a country or drive development. Look, I mean, you're paying Professor Kwame Nkrumah was a young one in the 80s. You're paying elder of the party, statesman, Professor Todobi Kwache was a young man when he served within the NDC. A lot of them.
Okay.
So I say, in the 90s, after 92, John Mahama was a young man when he won to go to Parliament and became a Deputy Communications Minister in the NDC. So were a number of them. If we are back in 2008, we saw young, brilliant minds, Dr. Mani Boama, Samu Kujuto, James Ejenim Boateng, a number of them, Felix Ofosu Kwache, and a number of them. Again, one of the parties that had, even during the time when it was rare for young people to get into Parliament, very, very young, Hannah Tete at the time, youngest legislator at the time to serve within government, it was NDC. So we've always believed in enterprise. We've always believed in youthful agency. We've always believed in the fact that, I mean, once you have young people with the right insights, with needed experience and the energy, can drive development in ways that the elders can. But so when you combine that too, it's always very effective for us.
If you guys are youth driven this time, that means you have like a strong, policy for the creative sector. I mean,
the party, again, that one party that has given so much more to the creative economy, maybe the tourism sector, is the NDC. We always thought about it. Look, talk about even development. It was during the NDC time now, your far dream say every regional capital should at least have a culture center and an auditorium that can host events. It was when Ben Abdallah time. It was NDC. The same NDC that thought it wise, to appeal to the Chinese government to set up the National Theatre. Same NDC government established a conference center that has served the industry for a long time. So I say, same NDC government that I time creative arts as a course of study in even basic schools and FSN was a thing, was a major thing. Again, even to instill in young people using a sense of patriotism, using the art, we used the by the fireside of the world to make it happen. The Kida Festivals of the world, the fun world of the world, that was initiated by the National Theatre of Ghana to make it happen. Look, and even one of the brilliant things that we did was to connect the National Theatre to the University of Ghana School of Performing Arts. So in the same ways that the Kolebu, which has served as a teaching hospital as well to serve the students, found the house men from or freshmen from was a medical school. We had the same thinking as well. So the National Theatre, for example, was supposed to be that one point where a lot more young graduates could the opportunity to work, serve, and gain the relevant experience for industry. So it's been the NDC. Again, even from a policy perspective within governance circle, Party Bakwa automatically saw the need to having to add the creative economy to a very important, government ministry, a cabinet saying. It's the NDC when we decided to add the creative arts to the tourism industry that has existed for a long time, because we felt that it was time to elevate the conversations within policy circles. So as I said, so it's the NDC. We've always had that, and a key number of promises that we made are, because we have a lot of people.
Delivered.
We delivered a lot of them, and as you see, we're still. In terms of the thinking and the ideas and the things that we have for the creative economy, I say we need, but I will let you wait. But for when we do our manifesto launch, I won't tease you. I won't tease part of it to you.
No, I say this at the back of the year of return, and the type of buzz that the current government. I think if they perform poorly in every other aspect of the economy, but then they've done exceedingly well.
But we've done more than this before, including the numbers.
So that's what I'm saying. That for me, if I'm rating the NPP, I'll rate them. I'll score them high.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know
on that. Look, then, but you are going to inherit if on election day Ghanaians do vote for you, of which chances are high, you are going to inherit an economy where the creatives or people in the creative sector have seen, strong boost in one part of the whole country. You understand? They've seen a strong boost. They've seen.
Look, I keep saying. Sometimes people could put branding to things, and all of a sudden, things that have existed over time begins to look some way to you. Right,
you believe it will all be naming?
Let me say exactly. December in Ghana, right, which is that component of your return, in that bars and everything, has been growing and progressing and evolving for more than 20 years. Cast your mind back to December, from at least December 2000 till now. Is it December in Ghana has always been evolving and putting together?
December has always been December worldwide.
So in 2019, what happened? Year of Return was largely launched on our slave heritage as a country. So the idea was to use our slave heritage. Don't forget, it was a year of the return, 400 years of the return of people in the diaspora. And Ghana was positioning itself to, within particularly the summer period, to get a lot more of the diasporans, right, or black diaspora, to come back home, and Ghana being the home. Because if you look at it within West Africa, that's one country that has almost more than 40 castles and forts. That was the point of the slave trade, was Ghana. And so the argument that we made was that this is where you're talking about home, this is where our ancestors came from, this is where you need to connect home to. So as I say, these kind of concept, when we did that with Panafest, it was huge in the summer period. Panafest was massive and huge. Subsequently, after Panafest, first MPP Omoba Abeyemo, they tried to do what they call, I think, the Joseph Project. Which was they were supposed to have moved on and proceeded with Panafest. And they wanted to have a different branding. And so one way or the other, they killed Panafest. But what Panafest is, as you experience it in the 90s, with that huge people coming in within the summer product, was the thing. Ideologically, that was the idea behind the Year of Return. But in 2019, within that summer period, fortunately for us, the December bars hit, but this time around, it hit a massive spot because of Afro Nation. Because Afro Nation, when they are coming into every country, because I was involved in the first year of Afro Nation, so I know the level of marketing and investment they put into different countries. They are Afro Nation Mobile. There are billboards in South Africa. There are billboards in the US. There are billboards in the UK, in different markets. And they did Portugal, and they had announced in Portugal said the African version was happening in Ghana. And so the anticipation and a lot more people that were in the West African sub-region that were coming here, was good. And so we gained some bars. Then the Year of Return was attached to the December in Ghana to make it seem like, friend I come in. But December in Ghana has been playing out in the country for a long time. But okay, I do for my heart every time for Akwesi. I saw it and I knew that if the GTA, for instance, had a crazy amount of budget, Akwesi is from industry.
Of course, my former boss.
We know how driven he is. We know his mindset, and we know what they sought to achieve with the rate of return. But obviously, the actual result they were looking for that summer period, which is that August to October, and trying to position the country for the black diaspora, who usually almost share the December. Even though lately we're seeing a fencing on it. So I feel if they had a number of investment, to really create a lot of excitement and buzz with the activities within that particular period. Now we're going to get like some crazy numbers to come in within that period.
Okay.
So I'm saying that December in Ghana is different. In 2019, December in Ghana component was crazy. It hit like a big sword. I'm sure within the last 10 years, our biggest attention we got was 2019 December. It was an Afro Nation also, as well as all these other activities, Afro Cheddar, Dirty Wave, that has been happening before. All of it contributed to the buzz that was happening. But December in Ghana company. Of course, it's something that has been there for long. Akwaba. Or shall I say, Akwaba started the whole movement of December, from the UK. And it's 99% pure. They started the Akwaba parties. And I remember in the late 90s, my big brother and co, they would wait for 1st December to go to Next Door Beach. Sour and Jizzle, more time on everything. If they are watching, they know it. They started the whole movement. By 2000, because of his associations and connections with the likes of Vibe FM, we saw the huge Vibe FM Street Carnival that happened alongside all these other parties that was happening in the clubs that existed at the time. Then by the early 2000s, I saw when the MB had come into power. We know that how December was, where with all these parties that was happening. Again, even when we came in, when we were in power, the number of these things that was happening. Our Cheddar had been happening years before. Rapaholic has been happening for so many years.
15 years. 15 years and not 10 years.
I
10 or 15, yeah, 10.
Yes. Red Cross and all of those things. In December, where the bars and everything that was happening.
But
but now I think they've seen the wisdom, and so almost like to say what we used to call it, and I say so the way it was called, the December in Ghana, and they've gone back to it because the year of return, straight jacket is Panafest.
Yes,
ideally. It's Panafest. It's what Panafest achieved them more. But the numbers are supposed to drive. It's not usually December. You have a lot of your Ghanaians in the diaspora, and then lately because of the entertainment that's happening here, West Africans in the diaspora coming into Ghana to enjoy the entertainment activities and go back.
Slave sites in your
but Panafest and Year of Return, the idea is to be able to drive and get them to reconnect back home. So it's a laudable idea, laudable project. Like you said, be that with Panafest. And so we know the benefit of that. We know how such concept and such ideas is very powerful and can drive the tourism economy well into Winnie. But we have a lot more things I per se. We started the Marine Drive project. By now, we were thinking, free a buy Mumpo. There was almost about $12 million that was left in the coffers related to the Marine Drive project in India, the entire project. But this is a major significant project. We saw how a moment to be ask woman I'm afraid what's the architect's name?
I'm just giving you information.
And within 7 to 8 years, Marine Drive project hasn't happened, and it's a very significant thing. And you said, in our manifesto, just to tease you, to be some of the things that will be in it. Again,
we're waiting for the manifesto. When is it dropping?
We'll be announcing it
for drop like some album.
But we keep teasing a few of it.
For do the rollout.
The leader of our party, Cecily John Mama, for instance, Akwaka, the fact that he doesn't support the VAT on the electricity tariffs, for instance, is one of the things that I know it's almost automatic, but we will go off. within the creative sector, I know there's a major particular project B.
The bar.
I know.
It will shake the table.
And it's realistic. The good part about it is that it's not, and now what we are not doing is, and to say, I mean, the MP will look at it and say, let's go and lie to the people. Let's tell them all the things they want to hear by intimacy. Like we'll build 10 large sitting theaters. You know, like we'll build a studio in every FS. No. We look at it. We look at what is scalable.
The Kumasi one is still ongoing.
Well, I mean,
they told us last year, July, then we'll complete them.
So and I mean, when we look at it now, we don't think that Ghanaians deserve to be lied to. We think that Ghanaians need to be told realistically what can happen and what can actually improve their lives and how we can all collectively come together to build a country. You know, we don't think that the Ghanaians need to be lied to or to be told things like all these people have said, NPP have said to them. We look at it, but I know there's a particular major idea that will come, that it's realistic, that is scalable, that is easier to do, but that's also one of the things that's well needed to drive the creative economy.
I really wish I would continue the conversation on the political lines with you.